the synergies between or really stranded energy and Bitcoin mining. And so what you're talking about is really just finding stranded energy and monetizing it. You mentioned flare gas there, which is not something we talk about much with our large corporate mining members that are on grid. And it is interesting though, because we just had a continuing education event with the AAPL, the American Association of Professional Landmen. They're based here in Texas, and they're a national organization. But we did a continuing education event where landmen came in person. There was lots tuning in online, and we did a panel and basically educated them about what Bitcoin was, what Bitcoin mining was, and then talked about the synergies between or really stranded energy and Bitcoin mining. And so what you're talking about is really just finding stranded energy and monetizing it.
Yep.
So that's what you can do in the Middle East. That's what you can do in Texas. You can do it on grid. You can do it off grid. It's a little bit easier to conceptualize off grid because people can see you're making $0 for flared gas or stranded gas, and then you monetize it with an on-site buyer of electricity. With on grid, you do it as well, but then you have to play time of day, location, ancillary services.
Yep.
Behind grid when you have transmission congestion, you're kind of on the opposite side of the congestion. There's ways to
Mm.
do that, but it's a little more complex. Do you see further? Because right now we estimate that about 97% of Bitcoin mining in Texas is on grid. We only have about 3% of our aggregate, almost 2,300 megawatts of Bitcoin mining in Texas being off grid. Do you see that growing in the future? Maybe 95%, 94% being on grid, but then maybe doubling the amount of off grid mining?
Yeah, I see it's the only way that Bitcoin mining can survive long term. For example, in our King Mountain site, we sit behind the meter at a wind farm. So we're taking wind energy as long as the wind blows, then we have to take grid energy when the
Right.
wind doesn't blow.
Right.
We think that if you can power Bitcoin miners using renewable energy sources, people argue, well, methane's not renewable. Well, here's the thing. Methane gas is 80 times more damaging to the environment than carbon dioxide. And if you can convert that to carbon dioxide by turning it into electricity, you're actually helping the planet, because methane is 20% of our problem on this planet. And so we think it's a very important thing to convert as much methane to electricity as possible.
Hey, it's Amy. Click over here to subscribe, click over here for more content, and we'll see you next time.